Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Well, Lucas, thanks for joining us today on Business Ninjas. Thanks for taking the time. I'd love to learn more about the company as we go here, but maybe you could start by telling us just the basics of, the company name, the website, and your name as well.
Sounds good, James. Thanks for having me on the show. A pleasure to be here. My name is Lucas Stos. I'm the managing director of ExitLag, and our website is exitlag.com.
Right on. All right. And what's your role with the company?
I am currently the managing director, overseeing like day-to-day operations as well as helping the founders to kind of take the business forward.
Right on. All right. And how long has the company been going?
Well, the company has been going for a little bit over 12 years, but it's a bootstrap startup from 2010. The founders never had an investment and we're growing our own. I knew the founders, so I always have been like kind of side project of mine, and I actually joined it like full time in 2020. Since then we have been growing a lot, especially on the organization side. But yes, 12
Wow.
years.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay. And I'm sure the company's vision has changed from when they started to where they are now. But maybe you could just level set, today, what's the niche that the company's in? What are you focused on? What's the sort of the elevator pitch for the company?
Sure, yeah. The end goal is still to help players around the globe. So the end goal never really changed a lot, but we actually improved in the way we approach to the market, as well as growing with more products than just the PC versions that we had. The company started to solve a problem that still happens nowadays, like gaming performance connections. And since the game industry grew a lot in these past years, we are also getting traction with that growth on the industry itself. And we still focus on leveraging our technology and make sure every player out there is having the best experience possible when it comes to online gaming, and solving the major issues that players have, like lag, packet loss, and jitter, by a approach that we started in the past in one way, and nowadays we developed to a multi-path technology that's very, I would say, probably very unique to the market, as we own the patent on that technology. And I think our approach is probably, if not one of the best in the markets.
Wow, that's pretty wild. And so I wonder, during the pandemic time and all of that, did you see a big spike in online gaming where, since people were kind of stuck at home and that sort of thing, was there a big increase in usage of your technology during that time?
For sure, yes. Not only the industry, but for us as well. We saw a huge boost on more people getting to know our product, because I think it was also something that not a lot of people knew about, because people used to take gaming a little bit more casual. With the pandemic, a lot of people actually started thinking about gaming as a profession. Like in the US, streamers are now more and more common. People that actually work with game content became, I would say, a lot more specialized on those words, and ExitLag just took the same growth, like a lot of new users, a lot of people getting to know that there is a solution out there for network. Because before, you would invest on your PC and you thought, oh, I'm all set because I bought this new cool PC and everything is great because I'm gonna run all the games smoothly because I have a good hardware. But at the end of the day, nobody's taking care of your connection. And once you start playing online, connection matters a lot. Not only the performance that you have on your hardware, but also the connection matters. And ExitLag is basically the missing piece that was missing for a lot of people, by adding this extra protection, by adding this accessory to your network, and make sure you're having the best connection.
Wow, okay. And then I wonder what your geographic scope is. Are you focused on, the North American market or the worldwide market? Like where does your customer base lie?
Sure, yeah. A recent survey showed us that we have customers in 190 countries,
Holy
which was a
cow.
surprise even for us. Yes, it's crazy to see like how we grew as a brand and how these accessories getting the publics out there. We haven't really been focused on North America and Brazil, particularly because the founders all came from Brazil originally, and so Brazil was always a huge market for us. But then we saw like the same need in other countries as well, so we just grew globally and taking advantage of like also leveraging our network. As we make the network stronger worldwide, our products even better worldwide. So why not taking advantage of that and promote your product as a global solution?
Wow, that's really cool. Right on. And then what's the revenue model for the company?
Well, the company is currently a SaaS, so we are software as a service, and we charge our customer in a subscription-based model where they can either subscribe for a plan that's a month long, or they can subscribe for a plan that's 6 months long. Hopefully soon we'll have the annual plan as well, so people are a little bit more take advantage of the lower price by paying for a long term.
Right. Yep, that makes sense. And then the customer base that you have, there's probably different tiers to the types of people that are coming in. I wonder what kind of the major customer groups are that you're after, and maybe we could talk a little bit about if there's any differences in the challenges that they're facing or the goals that they have, and see how the company's kind of helping them get there.
Sure, yeah. Like on the game industry itself, you can separate the players by the average daily spend on hours that they spend gaming. You would take a casual gamer, someone that would play only twice a week or during weekends. You would take a more serious player, that guy that plays every day for at least a certain amount of time. And then there's the professionals, right? The ones that either play for a professional team or create content around that game. ExitLag basically helps all of them towards all the markets, because no matter where you sit on those categories, you always want to have the best experience possible. Even if you play only for 2 hours every week, at the end of the day, you don't want to waste those 2 hours. You still want to compete, you still want to win the game you're playing. So we help from casual to professional players across the board, the same solution. We always took pride of ourselves by not creating tiers in the product, because we always thought that it's kind of not fair to not have the best connection possible. So we wanted to make the product as accessible as possible by having only one tier. If you pay for the subscription, you have access to all games, all networks, so you can play from the US to someone in Germany, and we're still helping you the same way. So it's the same tier, same plan to all people out there. You just have to subscribe, and then you have full access to it.
Wow, that's really cool. I mean, it makes me think of the difference in what you're creating versus like the way that your connection speed determines how you win in the financial markets, right? And there's definitely tiers in that world, whereas you give everybody the same shot. So that's pretty awesome.
Sure, yeah, and it was also one of like our probably core values, like the way we started this company. One of the founders started thinking about this, like how he had this advantage by being far from the game servers, by being away from the game server, he would have lower performance than someone that is just sitting closer to the game server. So it was something that we created to make gaming a little bit more fair, making sure people are being taken care of no
Yep.
matter where you sit geographically. So it's been good to see that we are able to keep that and being able to provide the same solution to all players.
Nice, right on. And then what's your strategy for reaching out to? I mean, geez, you've done a great job. If you're in over 190 companies, or I'm sorry, 190 countries, you must have pretty effective outreach in ways that you're getting the word out. So maybe you can share a little bit about what the strategy is there and what's working for you.
Sure, yeah. Also goes in line with one of our main missions, which is having the value on around innovation. I think our marketing department innovated very well in the old days when this wasn't very common to reach to streamers and content creators to be closer to the public. Now companies are actually looking more into that, but we innovated probably like 8 years ago. We started doing that. We started reaching out to people that actually were on the face of content creation, the face of actually playing every day, and they were probably the main names out there for the games. And hey, you know what, you're playing this game every day. We know you may sometimes have problem with your connection. Why not try our solution? So they tried it, they really liked it, and then we created these partnerships based on an affiliated system where every customer that he brings, he actually gets a commission out of it. So we actually also helping players to boost their revenue source. By partnering with us, you're also able to make some money, which is huge for people out there that are trying to start in this market. As you know, gaming most of the time was considered something for entertainment more than a profession. So we are there helping these players create their content, making sure they're also having a new stream of revenue by partnering with us, and that has proven to be very successful as we grew over the years.
Wow, yeah, I bet. I mean, word of mouth is going to count for a lot with the gaming community and people being able to share their successes. So that's fantastic. And then finally, the final question we have would be, what are the social media channels that you're active on? How can people find you?
Oh, ExitLag is present in all social medias from TikTok to Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. The company is very well spread around those industries as we always grew with word of mouth, like you mentioned. So being present on social medias, being present where our customers are, was very important for us. So we have people administrating all those social medias, so you can pretty much type ExitLag on any social media that you use. You should be able to connect with us. I myself I'm probably a little bit more towards LinkedIn. It's probably easier to find me on LinkedIn than any other social media.
Great. All right. Well, Lucas, thanks for sharing your story with us today. We really appreciate it and wish you continued success in the future.
Sounds good, Jamie. It was a pleasure to be here speaking to your audience. I really enjoyed our conversation. Thanks so much for having me on the show.